A new juicy Switch rumor is gaining momentum, and it involves the Switch Pro, so we gotta talk all about it. Is the OG Switch done in 2021? Plus, a couple major third-party Nintendo Switch games have seemingly leaked, and you're gonna wanna see what these titles are. I think they're coming sooner rather than later. And I forgot the poll once again, guys and girls. I'm a goofball, so at the end of today's video, we're instead talking about my very crazy and disturbing dream. Good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. It's Thursday, the weekend is close. Hold on, you're right there. And let me know, does anybody still not believe in the Switch Pro? Anybody? Anybody still a naysayer out there, a disbeliever? Please talk at me in the comments, because this thing is happening. This Switch Pro, it feels inevitable, and today's story adds even more. This is interesting. This is juicy stuff. What's going on, everybody? It's Dragon Ball SwitchForce. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. This is the best place for Nintendo news, games talk, rumors, leaks, reports. Of course, love and Nintendo fun. Plus, we're streaming Monster Hunter Rise, fighting Magna Malo later today. It's going to be great. But first, Switch Pro. I feel like right now the Nintendo fandom is looking into a crystal ball, right? We know there's something coming, but there's still a lot of smoke encircling it, spiraling around. We can't quite see clearly. And today's report, man, it just makes the situation more confusing, but also more intriguing. So we've heard a lot about the Switch Pro. Oh, Bloomberg says it's got an OLED screen, 7 inches, smaller bezel, 4K. Reset Era, the leakers over there, Nate Drake, 4K DLSS guaranteed. And lately they've been talking about this idea that production is being halted on the current Switch system on a chip. And then today, this morning, Game Reactor comes in and says they have their own independent sources also telling them that Nvidia and Nintendo are going to stop production on the Tegra X1 Mariko system on a chip in 2021. Now, why would Nintendo and Nvidia stop production on the chipset for the most popular console? Unless something else was coming. Something else is coming, my friends. It's just a matter of what and when. And now we've got this interesting divide where some people believe that Nintendo will stop production on this because they want to transition to the Switch Pro, right? They want to make that the main system. They want as many players as possible to take advantage of the better power, the 4K output when docked, you know, the sexier screen, the better oomph for these games, and especially third parties, which probably will have a few exclusives. And now there's also some people saying, well, maybe Nintendo has two things planned, two new hardware pieces. A while back, you might remember discussion about the Aula. Now, this is a code name that was found in Nintendo Switch firmware for a new hardware revision, AULA, Aula. At the time, it was thought that maybe Aula was really the Switch Pro, but now there's this idea that maybe there's both. So maybe they're stopping production on Mariko because there's a Switch Pro coming in either late 2021 or early 2022, and there's a V3 Switch. Now, you might remember there was a V2 Switch a while back that introduced better battery life and just kind of tightened the screws. It wasn't like a major upgrade in any way, but it's that red box Switch you see when they changed over the look of the packaging. That's the V2 Switch. And now some people think that Nintendo is stopping Nvidia, Tegra, X1, Mariko production to prep for a new system on a chip for their revision of the OG Switch, and then also the Switch Pro, but the Switch Pro will be better. Everybody has their own take on how much better, but it'll be better. When are these coming? Will Nintendo really just do it again with a new revision for the OG Switch and then bring in the Switch Pro? Or are they planning on just, hey, the Switch Pro is the way forward? It's very interesting that multiple people from multiple places are saying, hey, Nvidia is ceasing production on this. And maybe Nintendo just wants to start reducing their stockpile to get ready for whatever is new. In fact, that part I think is a guarantee. Nintendo is getting ready for something new. It just depends who you trust and where you look of what it is. Do you think Nintendo is going to do just a Switch Pro and try to transition the audience over that way? Maybe bring it in at a similar price point and just kind of eliminate the OG Switch? Or do you think they would bring in a new revision of the OG Switch a little bit better and have that be the middle system, and then you can move to a high-end system? It all depends on how they want to price it. It all depends on how they want this to look. My take is that it seems weird that Nintendo would introduce a slightly better Switch revision and then immediately bring in a Switch Pro. Like, I could see them wanting to bring in the Switch Pro and I guess update the Switch a little so that it's easier for production standards, like they're all on the same system on a chip. But it feels a little odd that they would revise the system that they're gonna try and basically usurp, right? So they're gonna spend time, money, and branding, I guess, on like a new V3 Switch, but then just bring in a Switch Pro. I don't know. If it makes things easier on their back end, I could see it happening. But right now, I'm team just Switch Pro. It would be weird to me that there would be both, but then they're stopping production, so what are they gonna do? I don't know. I mean, an all Switch Pro future sounds fine to me, but it's TBD. And don't worry, if you have a Switch, the V3 would be nothing you need to buy. I mean, you can make a choice about the Switch Pro if you're tantalized by 4K output or whatever else they end up putting in it, but this Switch revision would be slight. It would not be something you need at all. So don't get too worried. Nintendo's not going crazy here. I think we just have to wait and see how it all shakes out. Dev kits are out there. People are working on Switch Pro games or whatever the new thing is called. And we're gonna learn soon if they're doing two, if they're doing one, and exactly how much fun we're gonna get out of a new system. But this is interesting development. And again, if you didn't believe the Bloomberg reports, you don't believe me, don't believe the Reset Era people, now it's like, hey, multiple sources are saying they're stopping production on what they currently have. And no matter if you think it's for Aula, this revision, or if you think it's for just a Switch Pro or both, new stuff is happening. But what's a system without games? And it looks like two pretty big third-party titles are walking their way Switch style soon. Bandai Namco Latin America Instagram, of all places, posted a new Dragon Ball Z Kakarot video, which is their like kind of open world action RPG Dragon Ball Z game. And at the end of their video, there's a Nintendo Switch logo. What the heck? This game isn't on Switch. This game hasn't been announced for Switch. Well, maybe it just was. I think this was a accidental leak. I don't think this is a mistake. You don't slap that Switch logo in between the Steam and Xbox One logos for nothing, and it seems like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot will be coming. Now, I don't love this game, but I know a lot of people like taking part in the Dragon Ball universe in this way. I like DBZ back like Garlic Jr. to Perfect Cell. That was my golden era when I was like prime audience for DBZ. It just makes sense. Bandai Namco is prolific on Switch. They help work on Nintendo games. They've brought countless titles from Little Nightmares 2 to Dragon Ball Fighters. They just bring all their stuff. The Naruto games, so much Bandai Namco. You know, Kuni, like this is probably 100% happening, and it's probably happening soon. And I know those of you who like Dragon Ball Fighters or appreciate this franchise will be glad to get a big Dragon Ball Z RPG on the Switch. Now, possibly more interesting, for me at least, is Madden. Madden is something we've wondered, why hasn't it been on Switch for a long time? And slowly but surely, the reason became apparent. Frostbite. It's hard to get Frostbite on Switch, and Madden now runs Frostbite, can't do it. Well, Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville changes that, because with that upcoming port, EA had to make Frostbite work on Switch. And now we have a very interesting job listing for someone to work on the Madden team, and they're asking for experience on PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo consoles. Now you could say, hey, they just want someone well-versed in video games, but they've never specifically called out Nintendo games in reference with Madden. This is specifically a position for the Madden team, and they're specifically talking about Nintendo Switch. And now that Frostbite is on Switch, there's no barrier. Why not expose Madden to more players? Why not bring the franchise to more fans? Why not grab those sales if you are EA? Madden 22 is being rumored right now. I mean, we know the game's inevitable, but I'm talking about the cover athlete. Seems like it's going to be Derrick Henry, beast of a runner, and I hope that the game would run well on Switch. I mean, we don't need really a bad port. EA has sucked with FIFA, so hopefully the Frostbite inclusion from PvZ can help boost Madden and make it better. Or maybe they're honestly prepping for Switch Pro. Maybe this isn't even for this summer, but maybe it's for next summer. We're getting a better Switch. We could get Madden. Frostbite could run even smoother. Either way, this is great news. Nintendo is due for some new news. I predict we get an Indie Direct next week. You can hold me to that. But maybe a partner showcase isn't too far behind, and maybe we'll start hearing about more of these leaked titles. And remember, all the stuff we talked about recently leaked, remember like Star Wars Republic Commando, PVZ itself, Crash 4, they all came true. So you can put money on Dragon Ball Z Kakarot absolutely coming to Switch, and I'd still wager a pretty good amount on Madden making its way as well. Now then, I'm 2 days without the poll. What is happening? My brain, I'm not getting enough sleep. Sleep is so important, and I stink at it. I go to bed, well, I think I'm going to bed at like midnight every night, and then it's 1, it's 2. Last night it was almost 3, and I'm not even doing anything important. You know how that feels? You're just laying there, you're like phone zombieing it up, doom scrolling, and it just all of a sudden it's like 3. You're not even doing anything important. You go down weird rabbit holes. You're like looking up old mugs on eBay. Nobody else? Looking up old mugs on eBay, searching for sports card deals, trying to see what other YouTubers are up to. I need more sleep so I can remember the dang poll, and I need more sleep so I don't have this insane dream again. I am no TikToker. I don't like it. I don't really, it's just not for me. But I had a dream that I was at a beach house with my family and friends on vacation. Everybody was happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. And then Bryce Hall showed up and threatened to kill everyone. Now, if you don't know who Bryce Hall is, he's kind of he's a young TikTok guy who's, I don't know, frat boy. I don't know. He just seems like a dude, okay? And I didn't like him being in my dream and threatening to kill everyone. It was really weird. I woke up so startled, and I was like, gosh darn it, I forgot the poll, and this is what I get instead? Bryce Hall threatening my family? Nuh-uh. Not good. Not happening. So I'm getting better sleep. I'm bringing you the poll. Stay tuned this evening for the community tab. I promise to have it for you. And let me know what you think about the rumor that Nintendo is stopping production on their chipset. And does that finally make you believe a Switch Pro is coming? Do you think there's going to be a V3 revision or just a Switch Pro? What do you think about DBZ Kakarot and Madden possibly coming to Switch soon? Give me your take. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Until that time, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to check out my Monster Hunter Rise videos and streams. And until next time, everybody, I love you a lot. Stay healthy, stay smart, stay positive out there. And until next time, have a fantastic day. SwitchForce out.